2,680 pounds. Little Starcraft just came in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. By and large, looks to be in really good shape. It's a floor plan I've always liked because it's small, but it expands. You can see the single rear hybrid bed popping out the back there. You don't necessarily have to use that, but it gives you the ability to have a full-time bed that doesn't eat up the very limited floor space in this little thing. It keeps the weight, the cost, the length, the size, the everything down to a more manageable kind of, metric. And first impressions as I walk in here are very positive. So that naturally begs the question, why'd they get rid of it? Why'd they trade it out for something else? And the short answer is they were very happy with it. They just wanted a little bit more of it. Starcraft, for those who don't know, is owned by Jayco. They're not identical. They're sisters. And the folks wanted something as similar to this as they could get, but just a little bit bigger. So they swapped this out for a 21-foot tandem axle J-Flight to get a little more sleeping space, storage, all that. They're going to do some longer trips, some more extended stays. Now this is a very interesting different floor plan. You saw that single rear hybrid bed on the back. You can use that either as a bonus bed if you want to use the dining area up front as your primary sleeper, or you could use the hybrid bed as your primary sleeper, and then you don't have to, muddle with putting the dinette up and down every day, every night. But what's kind of cool is if you have a guest or something, or, there's a lot of people, I meet a lot of people who are like, look, I'm a single parent, I don't want to get a bunkhouse, I want to go camping, but sometimes I want to take my kids when it's a weekend or something like that. Well, this is a cool way for you to do that. Another thing too is this is a really good floor plan, I think, for like buddy hunting camping, something like that, because even if you don't use the dining, if you pop these cushions off the back of this thing, you've got like, I don't know, like a 9-foot, 8-foot bench, something like that over here. You've got a huge area where you could very comfortably sleep a guest. The table's also fully free floating, so if you want to pop that outside for picnic time and leave this like an open lounge inside, you can do that. The TV hookups are located right over here on that wall, and it does look like they had added a TV at some point, which wouldn't have been included with this RV from the factory level, but you can see that bracket up there in the wall. So they had a TV that they just took with them, but they were nice enough to leave the hardware behind, which is nice. Now there's no open screw holes in your cabinetry. 8,000 BTU side mount air conditioners, keeping the overall exterior height as low as it can get. You have probably noticed that accented front wall. It took me a minute. I had to get up close to check it out, but that is actually, they did a wallpaper on that accent wall. So there's no, I can't find any defects feeling around. I haven't found any defects or blemishes or anything really to write home about in a negative sense on the RV anywhere. They just wanted to give it a little bit of a color pop, I think, and hey, I can't fault them for that. LED lights doing a heck of a job brightening it up in here. Over this direction, they added a little kind of cork board. Be able to, maybe when you get to a new campground, you grab a couple flyers, some points of interest from your local campsites, or local sites near the campgrounds. The TV, or pardon me, radio over here. You've got the handy little remote control that comes with it still in place. And here is a handy little pro tip on one of these. You've got speakers inside, outside, but there's no obvious inside-outside speaker button. The way that will work on these is you use your left to right EQ balance. So that, basically the speakers are wired as though one is the left and one is the right, even though one is inside, one is outside. It's not obvious, but it works. It works very well. Looking around here, everything again looks pretty good. I like the pleated night shades all the way around. That's something that in this class is not always there. This is, again, a close cousin to what I would have called a J-Flight 165 RB, which is a floor plan I always really liked here at Haylett RV, and I was kind of sad to see it phase out of production. Taking a peek over here, right by the door, we have our light switches, which is nice. A couple main lights, you can just walk right in, outside, bang, bang. And you can still control all the lights individually, which is handy if you're dry camping so you don't burn up your battery prematurely. And power awning. But again, all that stuff is right here by the door. You don't even need to walk in and out of the camper to be able to manipulate those things. So let's take a look at that single rear bed that we have back here. You'll also notice there's like a pad on a pad. This has a heated topper on it. That's actually a heating blanket. That's the heated bed option that you get from the Jayco family of hybrids, with this being, again, the extended member thereof. But again, everything looks good. It's cool that that's here. Now, another aftermarket thing somebody added right here. Mom's pantry. Kind of cute. Storage being a limited thing in this RV, but they turned an otherwise blank wall into a good function space. Right next to that, right by the door, is our bathroom. And that full big mirror right there makes the whole tiny little room look and feel a lot larger. Plus, you see there's an actual mirror against the wall up there. Now, a quick note. If we take a look up here, you see that there's that vent up top. Both that vent and the kitchen vent overhead have like MaxxAir style roof covers applied above them, and we'll be able to see those probably peeking up over the top of this thing when we step outside. Beyond that, the kitchenette here, it is minimal but effective. You know, you're probably going to, if you're looking at a camper like this, you're not going to be a campsite chef. You're not expecting a full kitchen suite. You've got just enough here to get you through a weekend, wash your hands, do some minimal prep work. You've got actually a decent amount of prep space for a tiny camper like this, but you're probably going to be outside most of the time. That's what this camper is. That's who it's for. It gets the job done. Gas and electric fridge. There is a freezer pocket on top of that. Bottom left is our converter box. At home, if you're not familiar, you'd call that your fuse box, basically. And above that is our furnace. And this little thing has a surprisingly large furnace in it. Now, that's really important if you're going to do any sort of early spring, late fall camping with that hybrid bed end. There's effectively nothing between you and the outdoors except like a sheet of fabric. But anything you can do, like a bigger, more powerful furnace to slow that heat loss, is something that you'll appreciate and something that will help quite a bit. That simple little draw curtain right there will help tremendously. As mentioned, we do have a power awning out here, and by and large it looks pretty good as well. So they did a good job keeping on top of the cleaning even of their awning, which is something a lot of people won't take the time to do. Another neat thing here is this is an easy tilt awning arm system. It literally only takes 2 fingers to tilt adjust this. You just go and suddenly now it'll hold itself right there, and the awning is at just enough of an angle where it'll spill off some rainwater on a rainy day. Because a little trailer like this, if you're stuck inside on a rainy day, you want to regain every ounce of space you can. So being able to pop outside under a little picnic table or, you know, patio chair, very, very handy. Now, if you leave it cranked down like that and roll the awning up, it'll sort itself out. It's not going to get broken or anything like that. Tinted windows are a nice thing to have here, and this is actually something you don't usually see. They went ahead and put a power awning arm right over a window. That is just a highly, highly uncommon thing. There's nothing structurally that concerns me about this. It's just a decision most manufacturers don't make today. They used to make it more often when you had manual windows, but the thing is, it's so minimal. When you're inside the RV, we were looking out the windows. Did it really bother you? And it really doesn't. It doesn't occupy enough space to really affect anything. Outside storage is a bit of a premium on a tiny camper like this. Remember that bench on the door side of the RV where you're looking at? Under that is all storage, which is handy, and you can get to a section of it from out here. But there is actually a split. There's a section of it over there, and there's a section of it over here. So you have, you know, kind of a dedicated inside, dedicated outside. It does have 4-corner stabilizer jacks, which is somewhat uncommon on these little trailers as well. There are some brands that'll try to save a buck and say, oh, it's short enough, you don't need these front jacks. I'm calling BS on that, man. As a person who goes camping, I'll tell you, you want every jack you can get for the stability. And a big stone guard on the front of this thing is going to help keep it in good shape. You see that front window there making the whole RV look and feel bigger, but it also has that handy weather shield to keep the, you know, driving elements when you're going down the road from being able to penetrate any sort of seals or anything like that. Now, little trailers like this usually have a manual tongue jack, and hey, wouldn't you know it, this one does right here. If what you're looking for is a power tongue jack on an RV, give us a call. Cool thing is, they all pretty much follow the same 3-bolt pattern, so if you want to swap one out, that's an easy thing to do right there. The decals, the skin, the seals, the roof, the tires, everything looks to be good. I don't see any sort of like rough weathering or anything like that. I don't see any odd wear patterns on the tires where somebody overloaded it and trucked it down the road. Again, folks that own this, they knew what they were doing. They knew how to take care of something like this, and they actually put the effort in. And where that's really noticeable too is on this rear bed end. We still call it canvas. It's not canvas. We just still call it that because it's a word that everyone's kind of familiar with. But the canvas on this thing is in really good shape. Now, over that rear bathroom and again over the kitchen, you can see those MaxxAir vent type covers popping up. Just little things like that. Just be able to get you some anytime airflow. Super, super handy. Spare tire with that slip cover. Doesn't look like it's ever seen the light of day, which is good. That means that they've never had a need for it. Overall, I'm happy with what I see. I can't see anything that, like I said, concerns me that I feel like I need to report. So give our team here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan a call. We'll get you camping. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.